how's it going, everybody? Stavage saying what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, and I am here for something kind of different. You'll see in a minute, because I am going to start by doing what I've done in the past, where I just look at the Twitter or the tweets about the new characters, kind of analyze them, and go from there. So we're going to start with Vados. I really mean quick, because I want to jump into something more fun after this, because the new team tier lists were posted on Game Press, and I have to be honest with you, it's the first time I don't actually really agree with their tier list. It's the first time I've actually disagreed with them, so I want to do my own. But anywho, jumping into Vados real quick, first of all, they did my man's Whis dirty, because Whis does not have a sparking still, but Vados got one. So for those of you who don't know, I love Raditz, and I lost it when he got his sparking finally, because I kept saying over and over again, I was like, Raditz only has an EX, why doesn't Raditz get a sparking? And so I lost my shit when he got it. Most of you obviously don't know that because I didn't have the page back then, but you know, a couple heads know. But anywho, so Vados is looking pretty interesting. I like that she's working with Rival Universe. It's cool that they're buffing that out a little bit. Obviously, it makes sense with the trio to Dog Dookie having just been put in. I hate on them a little too much. They're really not that bad. But she's got some health recovery. I mean, she's just looking to be a pretty good looking to be a pretty good supporter. Allies key buff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, nothing crazy. This man's though, Champa is looking just chef's kiss. Champa's looking phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to Champa, and I honestly think I'm gonna go a little, not hard trying to pull Champa, but at least just get a copy of him, and then you know, at least 3-star him with a multi-Z. But he looks oppressive. I mean, it says him, or it says he can torment his opponents. You know, this arts increase cost, debuff to draw speed, destroying Dragon Balls, and then shortening ally sub cost with every attack received. I mean, this man's is great. He's a yellow, so he's gonna really clean up God Key, because SSB Kaioken, he's old, he's outdated, and if I'm being honest, he wasn't really that great on launch. Not that he was ever bad per se, but he's never been amazing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Champa. So with that, we're gonna jump straight into the tier list. So I had a lot of fun making these. I did like little edits in the background, and they got a little more complex as I went. So actually, the later end of the tiers looks a bit better than the early ends of the tiers. And I labeled the tiers differently. I didn't label them Z tier, S tier, and all that. So we've got, at the top, we've got Mastered Ultra Instinct. Then we've got Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Then Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, Kaioken, and Yamcha as our base bottom tier. And if we look, this is actually one more tier than they put on Game Press. Game Press only has 6 tiers. There's ZS 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't think it's letters after S. But whatever. The main reason I did put an extra tier in there is because there kind of gets a point where it starts clustering on Game Press. I think that's what annoyed me the most, was that it just like, it started to cluster after a point, so it's just like, I don't know. So to start things off, the first team I've got here, we've got Future. Future's going straight up to MUI. If you ask me, Future's the #1 team. I mainly say that because I think the thing is, a lot of teams are really starting to get up there because of Zenkai builds. Zenkai is definitely more accessible, but people don't have 7k Chrono Crystals to spend every 2 weeks. So, like, I know for me, like, I've been prioritizing for teams that I use. So, like, I use Saiyan. So, like, Super Saiyan 3, I have him at Zenkai 3 already, and I'm looking to get him to Zenkai 6 at least. Because for me, I don't necessarily think going to 7 is all that necessary. You're losing out on very minimal buffs, maybe a couple thousand in terms of stats. Nothing detrimental. You can still run a Zenkai 6, have both the new abilities, and be fine. So I say strictly from the sense of no Zenkais needed whatsoever, this team is going to be a dominating force for a while, and it doesn't look like they're slowing down the units anytime soon. So that's just right there off the bat. Next, this is going to be a bit of a hot take. I still think Fusion is top tier. I still, maybe it's because I love Fusion so much, but I still think they're up at the top. I don't see why so many people say that they've dropped off. I don't see why they dropped in the tiers, if I'm being honest with you. Every choice on this team is still a phenomenal choice. The worst unit on the team is Super Vegito, the purple one, and that's not a bad thing at all, because he's phenomenal, so it doesn't matter. Next, we're going to put Son Family up here. Son Family is dangerous, especially now with 2 meta-shattering Zenkais, 3 meta-shattering Zenkais, actually. The 3 I have pictured, Youth Goku, Gohan, and SSJ3. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. It's got 3 meta-shattering units right there. And then you've got some excellent other options on the backside. ROC Goku, Super Kaioken, Blue Gohan, the Mystic Gohan. There's a lot of options. Stone Family is very healthy right now. A lot of people are arguing it's the best team in the meta right now. I would tend to agree, only if we're speaking with the Zenkai version. If we're talking non-Zenkai version, I don't necessarily agree with that. But if we are talking Zenkais included, absolutely the best team in the meta. Androids goes right up here. Similar reasoning. Very strong Zenkai teams. Very, very strong. 16, 18, very strong together. And then Cell. I mean, Cell is phenomenal. And then you've got 21 on the back end, too, if you need. They need a blue unit, but very strong units. No arguments here. Hybrids, for me, is going to start Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, if I'm being honest. I don't think Hybrids is a full enough build to put it at the top. They're severely lacking at purple. Obviously, you have Gohan, LF Gohan, who is a menace and very much broken. But you have some glassy units in there, and some transforming units, 3 transforming units. So it takes time to rev up your core. So I don't think they have enough to compete early game with the 4 listed above. And so that for me, I don't think they deserve to be top tier. That's just me though. Next, Saiyans. Saiyans not too far off, or not too far behind. You have Majin Vegeta, you have EX Nappa. There's some really, really devastating units here. The big thing that they're lacking, and I was talking about this with someone earlier today, they don't have a strike cover. If you even wanted to run Bardock instead of Nappa, you have a blast cover, but there's not a strike cover. In a strike-based meta, that's very important. Going off that, though, speaking of strike covers, we have the All-Goku team. I don't see this on tier lists enough. The All-Goku team is phenomenal right now, I say, personally. Especially because you have Future Coup, who can then give you that strike cover that Saiyans is lacking. And Support Coup, just because Majin Vegeta came out, everybody's like, Support Coup went to shit. Support Coup is still great. He's still a phenomenal support unit. I don't think people give him enough credit. Then you have RC Goku, you have Super Kaioken. There's a lot of options for that green slot. You can even go SSJ4 full power. The All Goku team, very healthy. Very underrated in my opinion. That's my hot take. So next we're going to start off SSB. This would be an A tier or a tier 1. Now, right off the bat, I am putting in Regen and Vegeta Family. What happened to Vegeta Family? Oh dear, hold on. We're going to have to do some scrolling. Sorry about this. Vegeta Family. Okay, nope. Too far for Vegeta Family. I love you, Vegeta Family, but that's too far for you. Okay. Anywho, so we've got Vegeta Family right up here, and Regen for that matter. And now I'm not just saying these because these are my mains. To me, they deserve to be up here. Regen is looking very scary to run with SSJ3 and with Gohan running around. So it's definitely looking a little unsafe to run regen. But I still think they have a place here. Zamasu is your cover change, or your strike cover change that we were talking about. The main thing that they're lacking right now is they need a blue. They need a blue to compete with LF Gohan, because Bootanks is a dead on arrival unit in my opinion, which is such a shame. I was so hyped for him. I have him at 7-star, and he was just a dead on arrival unit. So that's that on that. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I scrolling? The next one I need is up here. Oh, no, it's not. I do need to scroll. The next team that I'm putting on this list, female. Female absolutely deserves to be up here. If anything, female maybe even deserves to be a tier above. I don't think they do, just because you're lacking any type of cover change whatsoever. And 21 doesn't really provide any buffs to her, to the team. So you know what, I'm gonna solidly stick with A tier or SSB in this case. They're a great team, don't get me wrong. As a matter of fact, I tend to lose when I face female warriors, just because Kefla and 18 alone, Kefla and 18 by themselves are just oppressive. But I think this is where they stand for right now. Next up, we've got God Key. God Key, I'm going to be putting in A tier as well. But I do think once what's his face, Champa comes out. Once Champa's out, I think this is going to jump up a little bit. I think they're going to be a bit higher back in the meta. Yeah, God Key's looking pretty threatening, as it always is. But I mean, God Key and Future have kind of all been one and the same. I don't know. I think once Champa comes out and God Key itself is a solid yellow, we're going to see some really solid play from God Key again. And then once the revamp comes, anybody who has Zenkai 1 Beerus is going to skyrocket in play, because it'll be Zenkai 7 for everybody. So yeah, that's that. And I think that's actually going to do it for A tier. I think the next few things are going to be, yeah, B tier. So, first thing I'm putting in B tier, Rival Universes. I was very salty that they were in the same tier as Vegeta Family and Regen. I was very salty about it, and that's actually kind of the main reason I did this video, if I'm being 1,000% honest. I was very, very salty to see Rival Universes that high. It's a very new tag with not very good units, including 2 EXs at the moment that are just kind of meh at best, and then Kefla, who doesn't really buff the tag. So I was just not pleased with that. Vados and Champa, I think, are going to make this a lot more viable. It's going to start to kind of move up a little bit. Obviously, they couldn't drop all 5 at once. But for anybody who kind of went nuts for the trio, you know, they'll probably do a decent job. Next up, I'm going to put Legends Road up here. The tier list has Legends Road lower. I know that right now there's only you have to rely on Gohan, Trunks, and Goku, but this team is ever growing, and it's a free-to-play team, and I have to say that the 3 units that are viable right now are very viable, and so I feel very comfortable putting them up here. I have no issues putting them there. I think they deserve it. Yeah, that's kind of that on that. My next one up here is going to be a bit of a hot take. Where are... Oh! I have 2 more for this year, actually. My next one's going to be a bit of a hot take. Actually, no. We'll do the one that's not a hot take first. Powerful Opponent. Powerful Opponent is not on the tier list right now, and that's driving me nuts. The reason I put them here is because, again, Bootank's dead on arrival. They don't have a solid 6th unit to, like, fully round out the bench. So you kind of have to rely on that future core of Cell, Goku Black, and Zamasu. But I have a lot of fun running Powerful Opponent, mainly because I think Turles is very underrated. Just because Turles doesn't have a lot of solid teams to be on right now. But he's a good unit, and I think if Powerful Opponent like really starts to flesh out, I think Turles is not going to have a lot of issues. Turles is going to see some good play for a while. My next one is a hot take. I'm going to put Lineage on here. Lineage is a lot lower on the major tier list, and I know why. You know, they're definitely old. They need some love. But in a very Saiyan, hybrid Saiyan dominant meta, they have some very powerful buffs. You can see some very devastating lineage combos. I mean, I've still seen green Golden Frieza one-shot plenty of units with his blue card. You know, I've seen him one-shot VBs with his blue card, for that matter, because he's a unit that people have at a high star count, because he's been around for over a year now. And if you ask me, him and Cell have aged the best, and Cell doesn't even see a place on his team anymore because of DKP and LF Piccolo. And so yeah, that's just kind of that. Let's see. I know I'm running this pretty long, but we're gonna jump to the next tier now. We're getting there. I promise. So next we have the Super Saiyan tier, and ironically, to start off the Super Saiyan tier, I'm gonna put Super Saiyan. It was lovingly named. It was an absolute coincidence. But yeah, this is kind of our C tier right now. Kind of like our. They'll do okay in the meta, but they're not gonna do great. Super Saiyans is average at best. Someone was trying to justify to me that you don't need a purple on this team, that you don't need a red on this team, and that colors don't mean everything. That's true. Colors don't mean everything. But when you start relying on the same 3 units that don't have a cover change, that aren't necessarily the tankiest units, because, you know, EX Broly is great and all, but he's an older EX unit. So he's not necessarily the tankiest unit. He's not going to take damage that great. ROC Goku, I love him. He's my favorite unit in the game. He's a bit fragile, for that matter. You're really kind of relying on Bardock's buffs to do a lot of the work there for you. And if Bardock gets taken out early, that's it. That's Amore. So I'm putting him down pretty low. The next one I got over here is GT. Oh, no, GT. You're in the wrong T. GT. I want GT to be B tier, if not A tier. I want them to be, because they're so underrated. And, like, the thing is, they have a good unit for every color. But I say good, not great, not spectacular. They're lacking a lot. Like, everybody's just kind of been power cut. Like, it's sad to me that Full Power, SSJ4, and Omega were great units for the anniversary, and I defended them wholeheartedly. I still love Omega Shenron. Honestly, I switch out Cell every once in a while for Omega, because his green card, just like Gohan's, is still pretty timeless. His ult hits like a truck, but they're just not that good. Sin Shenron, Baby, just at this point, and it kills me to say that, because I still love Baby too. Even SSJ4 Goku, the regular one, Movies, I think we all know. Oh, come on, stop that. I think we all know Movies belongs here. We all know Movies belongs there. I wish Movies was doing better, because they keep getting units. Like, they got Great Saiyaman, they got ROC, they got Turles. So it's not like they've been given nothing, but they still don't have a strong blue. They've never had a strong blue. And if I'm being real here, Bojack is really showing his age. If it wasn't for his cover change being an everything cover change, Bojack would be kind of eh. And hot take, I've never liked Bojack's cover change, because I don't like that you're damaging your own units. Yeah, you're stopping a combo, but like, you're putting yourself in a kind of meh position. But that's just me. Next up, these two are kind of one and the same, but we've got Dragon Ball Saga and we've got Color Counter. Now the reason I've got Dragon Ball Saga in here is because you can fully flesh a Dragon Ball Saga team together, and they do make their way onto the tier list. And I believe they're actually second to last on that as well. But let me go into why I say Color Counter. With Zenkais becoming so popular, Color Counters, I feel personally, are going to start having a bit more of a place in the meta. Specifically after seeing Garesh's Saiyan build. Because if you do you could do a flat-out Zenkai Saiyan build right now. You can do EX Nappa, even if you wanted the SSJ Goku. But you can do EX Nappa, you can do Super Saiyan 3, and you can do Scouter Vegeta. That is a triple Zenkai Saiyan team. Purple, purple, red, for that matter, no less. And the buffs end up working out pretty well. And if you have Zenkai 7 of the red Goku as well. Color counters can look pretty dangerous, and not necessarily be as scared of whatchamacallit, of type disadvantage. Like, Gohan is not really that scared of blues, and if you put him with Trunks, it's disgusting how good they are. And Goten's going to be getting a Zenkai soon as well. So then you have 3, or not, oh yeah, well, I mean, Goten doesn't really matter for that, but if you get like a strong green hybrid in there, color counter's really not looking bad at all. I think they're going to start seeing a lot more plays in the meta. But again, that's just me. So the last 3 teams I have here, oh, actually, Frieza Force can go in, or yeah, Frieza Force can go in here as well. Mainly because they're starting to get a couple more EX, like the EX Nappa, the EX Raditz. They don't buff the tag, but, you know, they're kind of seeing some stuff. And to wrap things up, at the bottom, we've got Ginyu Force and we've got Super Warriors. Everybody's been wrecked by a 14-star Ginyu Force team at some point. We've all been wrecked by a 14-star Ginyu Force team. But they're definitely starting to see their age a little bit. And Super Warriors were supposed to replace them. I don't think they did. The 3 of them are good, but it goes back to that kind of like 3 predictability thing. I know I justified Legends Road being up here for having 3 solid options right now, but I think they're the one exception to that. Like, I didn't put the pseudo Legends Road Zenkai team where it's like Gohan, Kid Goku, and Trunks. I don't really count it as a team. It's a niche build to me. It's something that people could put together a video for. I don't know. That's just kind of me. But yeah, so this is kind of where my tier list stands. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you agree, if you disagree completely, like if you think I'm just an absolute mad lad, and that Game Press is right, that's totally fine. You know, everybody's entitled to believe what they believe when it comes to this stuff, and you know, it's open for discussion. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.